Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling one of the most jaw-dropping wonders of our planet, Mount Everest. Standing at 29,032 feet, it's the king of mountains. But have you ever wondered how it got there? Why isn't it spewing lava like a volcano? And here's the kicker. Why is it still growing even today? Stick around because we're diving deep into the wild world of tectonic plates, epic collisions, and the science behind Earth's tallest peak. If you're as obsessed with how our planet works as I am, hit that like button now, subscribe, and let's get started. First things first, what are tectonic plates? Picture Earth like a giant cracked egg. The outer shell, called the lithosphere, isn't one solid piece. It's broken into massive slabs called tectonic plates. There are about 15 major ones, plus a bunch of smaller ones, floating on a gooey molten layer beneath called the asthenosphere. These plates are huge, some span entire continents or oceans, and they're always on the move, drifting a few centimeters a year. That might not sound like much, but over millions of years it's enough to reshape the planet. Now these plates don't just sit still, they crash, slide, and pull apart at their edges. There are three main types of action-divergent boundaries where plates split and new crust forms, like under the Atlantic Ocean. Convergent boundaries where they smash together, and transform boundaries where they grind past each other like the San Andreas Fault. Everest's story, it's all about convergence, the ultimate tectonic showdown. But why do they move? It's all thanks to heat inside Earth. Deep down in the mantle, hot rock rises, cools, and sinks again in a slow-motion conveyor belt called convection. This drags the plates along for the ride. Think of it like a cosmic dance party, except the dancers are continents, and the music's been playing for billions of years. So how did Everest come to be? Let's rewind about 60 million years. Back then, the world looked very different. India wasn't part of Asia. It was an island continent, cruising north after breaking off from a supercontinent called Gondwana. Its tectonic plate, the Indian plate, was speeding toward the Eurasian plate at about 15 to 20 centimeters a year, fast for a plate. So how did Everest come to be? Let's rewind about 60 million years. Back then, the world looked very different. India wasn't part of Asia. It was an island continent, cruising north after breaking off from a supercontinent called Gondwana. Its tectonic plate, the Indian plate, was speeding toward the Eurasian plate at about 15 to 20 centimeters a year, fast for a plate. Eventually, bam, India slammed into Asia, but here's where it gets interesting. Normally, when an oceanic plate hits a continental one, the denser ocean plate dives under, melts, and makes volcanoes. Think Japan or the Andes. But India and Asia? Both continental plates. Neither wanted to sink because continental crust is thick and buoyant, about 30 to 50 kilometers deep compared to oceanic crusts 5 to 10 kilometers. So instead of one going under, they smashed together like two stubborn rams locking horns. This collision crumpled the land like a rug being pushed against a wall. The crust buckled, folded, and thrust upward, creating the Himalayas. Mount Everest itself started as flat sedimentary rock, stuff like limestone laid down on the ancient Tethys ocean floor millions of years earlier. That's right, the tip of Everest was once underwater. You can even find marine fossils up there today. Over tens of millions of years, this slow-motion crash pushed those rocks skyward, layer by layer. It wasn't instant. Geologists estimate the Himalayas started forming around 40 to 50 million years ago and are still being shaped. Everest didn't just pop up overnight, it's the result of relentless tectonic pressure stacking rock higher and higher. And that's why it's not just tall, it's a geological masterpiece. Now you might be thinking, if plates crashing together is so intense, why isn't Everest a volcano? Great question. Volcanoes form in specific tectonic setups and Everest's isn't one of them. Let's compare. Now you might be thinking, if plates crashing together is so intense, why isn't Everest a volcano? Great question. Volcanoes form in specific tectonic setups and Everest's isn't one of them. Let's compare. Volcanoes often happen at subduction zones. When an oceanic plate slides under a continental one, it dives into the mantle, melts into magma, and that molten rock punches up through the crust. Boom, volcano. Think Mount Fuji or Vesuvius. Another spot is hotspots, places like Hawaii where a plume of hot mantle magma burns through the plate above. But Everest? No subduction here. Two continental plates collided, and neither could sink easily. The energy didn't melt the crust into magma. It went into folding and thrusting it upward. Sure, there was some melting. Geologists have found granite in the Himalayas from crust, getting so thick, it partially melted under pressure. But it wasn't enough to break through as lava. Continental crust is just too thick and stubborn, up to 70 kilometers under the Himalayas, to let magma flow freely. Plus, there's no deep mantle plume under Everest feeding it magma. The action's all at the surface, crunching, stacking, lifting. That's why we get a mountain range instead of a lava show. It's a different kind of tectonic drama, one about brute force, not fiery eruptions. Okay, here's the mind-blowing part. India's still crashing into Asia. The Indian plate hasn't stopped. It's moving north at about 4 to 5 centimeters a year. That's like the length of your thumbnail. Over millions of years that adds up. The Himalayas are still rising. Everest grows about 4 millimeters a year, though erosion chips away at it too. Okay, here's the mind-blowing part. India's still crashing into Asia. The Indian plate hasn't stopped. It's moving north at about 4 to 5 centimeters a year. That's like the length of your thumbnail. Over millions of years that adds up. The Himalayas are still rising. Everest grows about 4 millimeters a year, though erosion chips away at it too. This ongoing collision is why the region's so active. Earthquakes like the 2015 Nepal quake happen because the plates are still locked in this slow-motion wrestling match. The Indian plate keeps pushing, and the Eurasian plate keeps resisting, storing energy that releases as tremors. It's a living, breathing process. Earth isn't done building the Himalayas yet. And it won't stop anytime soon. Tectonic movement is powered by Earth's internal heat, and that's not running out for billions of years. India's momentum might slow as the plates lock tighter, but for now, Everest is still inching upward, a testament to the planet's restless energy. So, there you have it, the epic tale of Mount Everest. From tectonic plates drifting across ancient oceans, to a colossal collision that raised the roof of the world, to why it's a mountain and not a volcano, and why it's still growing today. Earth's story is wild and Everest is just one chapter. What do you think? Would you climb it? Let me know in the comments. If you loved this deep dive, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more science adventures. Until next time, keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next one.